If you look at the implementation model, our implementation model is dramatically different than that of our competitors.
There's a couple different models. One of them we are calling the hero model, right? And I saw that myself personally when I worked in the sales channel and there were smaller projects. You kind of go in, you know how to configure the system, you understand how to turn the requirements into the build, and you knock it out, right? And you have like a system in place. It could be a small system, could even be a pilot. And then you find out you own that system. If there's any questions, they're going to come to you. If there's anything that breaks, they're going to come to you. If you're on vacation, they're going to come to you. And that hero system kind of, only gets you so far. It's not really scalable.
Yeah. Well, the whole time that you're interacting with that customer, you're building trust. And they learn to love Chris Carlins. They love to see him coming. They know that Chris is a family guy and he's a plant applications expert, and that he knows the inner workings of Velotic and how to get things done. And he seems to understand the manufacturing process here. And we love Chris. And whenever there's a problem with the system, we call Chris. And Chris is the one that helps us work out the issues. And therein lies the problem.
What if we were to reinvent how this is done so that people can go on vacation, so that we all feel supported?
You had a little trouble breaking that ice. You know, when you joined Rain, you said, I want to be somewhere where I can have an impact on the direction of the business and the quality of what we deliver to customers. And I said, that's great, but we have to build a team around you. Yep. And you were so used to being the guy in a typical integration company. You were used to being the hero, as the model we talked about, that what you thought about was, it will take so much more time for me to lay this out so that someone else can come back and build behind me, and I could just do it myself. And
it's that short-term, short-sighted investment. Yeah. It's like, why would I take time to show somebody else how to do it when I can just knock this one out and move on next? And it wasn't really about being selfish. It was about just being efficient. Let me just be efficient and move on. And you start realizing, oh, well, then I own it. And if there's any problems, they got to come back to me. And we're not really building up a team here. We're not really scaling.
Yeah, and that was the key. We were not focused on process efficiency in our organization. We were focused on making sure that we were creating an environment where people could come in, be valuable to a project right out of the gate as quickly as possible, and that every customer knew at least 5 people from our company. And any one of those 5 people could answer the questions that they have or get answers to those questions that they have. And it took us time to build that. I mean, we started this path at the end of 2019. We went, we had extensive growth in 2020 when people started working from home and needed the remote systems and remote access to work. In 2021, 22, we did massive upgrades. People who had been using old versions of Proficy for a long time, decades in some cases, a decade in some cases, needed to upgrade because they needed better remote access, better cybersecurity, better ways of doing things. And Velotic had been making investment in the product, and so Proficy was coming a long way in that short period of time. But our organization was not focused on being efficient. We were focused on spreading knowledge, sharing what we know with each other and with our customers to build great customer relationships and build a team that could break that hero model.
The other one is the ABC teams, right? The business model is to have these people that are accountable. This is your project, sink or swim. This is yours.
We don't have an A team, a B team, a C team. We have the team of people who help serve the customer, and any customer can come to any one of us at any time and ask a question and get an answer. And the walls just started to come down between us and our customers because of that behavior.
That the reason why you're always getting the A team with Rain Engineering is because we have over of the 25 people that we have dedicated to plant applications and Proficy, and all the way from connectivity all the way through to ERP integration and reporting. There's over 5 architects on our team people with a dozen or more years of experience with the software.
And of course, then coming along behind the implementation team, handing off to a support team that's, kind of separate but equal. Their job is different. The support team's job is different than the implementation team's job. And they have their own excellence and their own procedures and policies and ways of doing things that also include more than one person being involved in the account, more than one person bringing things to resolution quickly, and also trying to resolve issues so that they're not recurring. So, one of our core values is to share what we know, and to always be learning is another. And so for us to have a place where we can help others learn, where we can learn from each other and our guests, and share what we know, share the excitement around what we do with customers, with other system integrators in the ecosystem. I think this YouTube channel for us is a great outlet, but for the Proficy ecosystem, the user ecosystem, I think it's even more exciting. I think companies talk about culture all the time, but we live our culture, and customers see it. And so we never have to worry, to get back to the point, we never have to worry about that person leaving the company and the customer being left out in the lurch because they can no longer call and get Chuck. Chuck has moved on, but you can get any one of the team members even team members that haven't worked on your particular location or project. We have access to one another.
Where we want to help people is, what do your daily actions look like? What are those questions that you're really itching to have answered? And, how do you change your processes from something that's more writing things down to being alerted about stuff? Manufacturing know-how is the podcast and the learning platform are our ways of saying we've accumulated so many experiences of best practices when we go out and implement these solutions. Let's share that with our partners and friends and make a difference and keep that energy going that we have.
And so we have the implementation house, we have the support house, and we have a education wing that includes this YouTube channel and includes manufacturing know-how, the learning management system that we have that has a bunch of training content in it. Those are the kind of the three pillars of what we do.
With all the experiences that we have, how do we package them up and then make it so that we can make it repeatable for others in the future? Like, we're not always blazing trails. So we've been calling them X factors, and we'll be showing some of them off at the user conferences and stuff that we host.
Super excited about the YouTube channel. So yeah, absolutely subscribe. Go find us on LinkedIn, Rain Engineering, and connect with us. If you want to connect with Chris and me, go find our profiles and connect with us on LinkedIn. You can go to our website at raineng.com and click on the schedule a time. You can get a time set with one of us to discuss whatever issue you're having, or if you want to talk about contributing in some way to the YouTube channel. I think we'd love to hear from clients too. So,
yeah, absolutely.